We have Mr. Jain with us, Mr. Pankaj Jain. He is an expert in abroad education, foreign education. He has been guiding students from so many years and settling so many students in various countries after their good studies and guiding them how to get in the best of the colleges and which are the best of the colleges and what colleges or abroad universities suit those students. Mr. Jain, from last 2 years after the results, things are not that normal that was in 1918 or 2017. Students are quite worried, especially the students who wanted to go abroad. Because in India, the phenomena, what is happening, at least their parents are putting them to college in Bangalore, Pune, or Dehradun, or Kolkata, wherever they're finding comfortable. But a lot of students, in fact, we are getting a lot of queries from schools how they can go abroad or secure their seats. And as we have Mr. Pankaj Jain with us, he's the regional director of University of Technologies, Sydney College, Australia, and has got a vast experience in sending counseling students abroad in huge numbers. So Jain Saab, I would like your advice for students as well as the parents who are having a lot of anxiety, not even parents also, school counselors, teachers, school principals also. Like what I know, a lot of schools, they had their students who recruited to the best of the universities all over the world and they used to put it in their websites. Now they are unable to do it, sir. So what do you suggest? How should the students with their peaceful mind, calm mind, and go ahead with getting recruited in best of the universities?
Mr. Pranav, thank you for asking this question. This is a very pertinent question these days, as every day in newspaper we are getting articles. How will CBSE decide things, board examination and all? But there are two aspects to the issue. One is obviously you're looking at UG students, which we talked about 12th class students who are passing out and going to first year. The second is the PG area, where we have students at the third year of Delhi University or engineering colleges or fourth year. They have to pass out and join the first year of the master's degree. So if I go back to the UG case, undergraduate case, where the students graduate after 12 and go directly into universities in Australia, UK, Canada, or USA, for example. So the issue is like universities abroad can offer you conditional offers, which are based on your 12th exams. Now, the problem what we are facing is like CBSE said that on 1st June we'll decide. Today was a court hearing, which was to decide what will happen. Now, last week they had decided that why don't we have a subjects criteria of 19 major subjects. So the issue which came in even today's newspaper in Times of India, Education Times also, is that how will you decide what are those 19 subjects? For a PCM engineering student, it will be PCM plus computer sort of thing plus English. For an art student, it can be different subject. So that has not been resolved. We are still awaiting the 1st June order or the Supreme Court order today. But the fact to understand is like the students have been in a big crisis this year. Because of COVID in the last second wave in India, a lot of families have been affected, a lot of people's lives have been lost. So a lot of dear friends, dear relatives have been lost. So one is the exams which were due in March has been postponed to, like this year has been postponed to June, 1st of June. And as of now also, we don't know whether it is being cancelled or it will be on the basis of your assessment of previous year, like the way they did for 10th class. So it was done on the internal assessment. Even yesterday, there was an article which said that we could do it on the basis of 10th, 11th, 12th internal exams, which is also fine, like so that you can see some consistency. Because the problem what happens in class 12th is a lot of students who are preparing, let's say for engineering exams or for NEET exams for medical, they do not concentrate too much on 12th because for them, the NEET exam or the IIT exam is a major criteria. And in these exams, the 12th marks are not counted. So their focus would not be on 12th marks, but they will suffer now. Because if you make it on the basis of pre-boards or internal assessment or December pre-boards exam sort of thing. So the CBSE, obviously, I know it is easy to comment what to do, but
Correct.
if it was so easy for CBSE to decide or the education minister had to decide, they would have taken a decision. So there are a lot of aspects. Everybody will say different things, but if you see from CBSE also, it is not easy because somebody will say, no, this is not fair, that is not fair and all. But CBSE has to understand the more we delay exams, like the director of CBSE last week had told that why can't we do the exams in January? Because the wave is cooling down all over India, the graph is decreasing. But the point is, if you do the exams in July, the results will come out in August. If students have to go abroad, like for example, Australia, at us, at UTS University, we have a September intake. How will they get visa in 1 month? They have to get a conditional offer converted to unconditional. They have to send the mark sheets. Then they have to pay the money. Then they have to apply for visa. Visas itself take 3 to 4 weeks, which is a time which the embassy, like maybe Australian High Commission or the British Embassy takes. So the September intake in any case will be delayed. And if, as of now, the CBSE decides tomorrow that we will do it on internal assessment, that might still take 15-20 days, and we might have the results, let's say, by 1st of July. So that still gives you a window. So if you see my advice, I would say the students are stressed. The March exams were delayed. It's April, May. Like if you become a student of 12th, you will say, boss, what I'm trying to do, what is happening? Everywhere there's so much tension. You are not in a mood to study also. Because for March, you already studied in January, February, March of the whole year. So the temperament of studying is gone. People are watching TVs because they don't know what to do when the exams are held. There's no fixed date. So I think CBSE has to announce what I suggest, maybe the internal assessment. Well, I'm not expert on CBSE, but still as a person, as a parent also, I feel that is the best way to do. So that at least when students get the results, maybe by 20th of June or 1st of July, and students who are going abroad, let's say for US, for example, they have to join in August, so they have to apply for visas. In Australia, they have to do the payment, we have to get the COE, they have to file the visas at UTS. So that itself takes 3 to 4 weeks. What are the precautions some universities have done last year also and this year also they're doing is they have created a November intake for international students from India, let's say, or other countries. So like, for example, at UTS, University of Technology, Sydney, our university, they had created a November intake last year also. And this year also we have an intake. So students who could not join because India is a very big market, and after China, India is the biggest source of students for all the countries. So that is another alternative, but at least in this case, you are still delayed by 1 or 2 months. But if nothing happens, then we have a problem because students do not want to waste 1 year. So it's a big loss. And I think the CBSE should be wise enough to decide tomorrow and close it, the matter. Now, when you go to the postgraduate part of it, similar, we have a problem in postgraduate level also. The reason being the Delhi University third year results or Mumbai University third year exams are not held. So one is exams to be held, then the results to declare. So same case happens in postgraduate also. The students hold a conditional offer. Like for example, at UTS, we give a conditional offer of 60% at your bachelor's degree or engineering degree. So if the student does not produce his final mark sheet and provisional degree certificate, how he can get an unconditional offer? And after payment of fees, he gets a COE, which is a final letter to proceed for visa. And embassy also, Australian High Commission will take at least 2 to 3 weeks. They can give you exceptional thing that they want to process it earlier for students, because these days tourists are not traveling to so many countries. So UK embassy, US embassy, like US embassy did a recent thing that they were issuing exceptional visas to students. So they are being flexible. So I think the universities and UGC also has to be flexible in saying that, like, as of now, for example, let's say the private universities are still more authorized to take examinations online. So they are processing with third year final year results, fourth year final results, and ideally by June end, students will have it. Because in any case, one is foreign universities, second is the domestic admissions also stuck. Because all students are holding offers, they try for foreign universities, some are very clear. Let's say 20% students want to go abroad, but 80% are still thinking of India, and out of that 10% might go. So they are trying, if they get a very good university in India, they might stay. But if they don't get IITs, they will say, okay, we go abroad to UK or Australia or somewhere. So that 10% category is still hoping on both sides. Let's see India also, let us see foreign also. So that is a confusion state for those students. So I think the UGC has to relax, seeing the situation what we had last year, even this year. So unless they take a quick decision and say, okay, we are starting the online exams and we finish by 30th June, results by 15th July. So at least there is chance. But if you keep on delaying everything, because what is happening, because of 12th class results not being declared, all the entrance exams are on hold.
Correct.
Similarly, the same way we go to masters. If masters results are not declared, students don't know what to do. So there's a lot of anxiety, I would say tension among the undergraduate as well as postgraduate students. And parents is another category we have forgotten, who are doing the all sponsorship of funds and all. They don't know what is happening. So they're not sure what is the student doing. And these days, students are very independent. So whatever they would like to do, the parents support financially also. A lot of career options are also there these days. Earlier it was mainly engineering and business or MBA sort of thing or medicine. But now you have sports management, you have psychology, you have physiology, you have sport geography. People are going for music. So there are a lot of varied areas which students are going for. And I respect the parents in allowing their kids to do that, which is very good thing. Game technology, for example, AI is very popular these days. So IT courses are very, very popular.
Very good.
So this is what I personally think. I think.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jain, for your time. I'm sure this will be useful for all the stakeholders of education and students who want to go abroad. It will be some some breather, eye opener for them and some good news for them. Thank you so much, Mr. Jain. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.